throughout Jewish history, there were people known in their communities as Rodef Shalom, pursuers of peace, or Mitavchei Shalom, peace brokers. Now, these people were not the local rabbi or judge, but rather they were well-respected, connected community members attempting to be students of Aaron, loving and pursuing peace between conflicting sides within their community. Now, what's interesting is that both in Ashkenazi and Sephardi communities, these people were never described in the singular as a Rodef Shalom, but always Rodef Shalom. They always were acting as a group or as a network in their attempt to pursue peace within their community. Now, in my research, I found that this quasi-communal role pretty much came to an end in the 1950s, shortly before tightly knit and ancient Jewish communities in North Africa were uprooted and eventually emigrated to Israel. And my sense is that today is that as Jews and Jewish communities, we've become really amazing at being a Rodef Tzedek, at pursuers of justice, as, if you will, students of Moses. We know how to advocate for our truth and for our needs and for our justice. We're not always as strong at being able to balance my sense of justice, my values, my needs with those of the person sitting in the table across from me. And therefore, it's been our vision of the Pardes Center for Judaism and Conflict Resolution to revive this ancient Jewish tradition of being a Rodef Shalom and create a kind of global network of Rodef Shalom, or pursuers of peace, across religious and political divides. For people to see themselves as a Rodef Shalom, attempting to understand and balance conflicting needs, values, and perspectives in a constructive way in the spirit of Machloket L'Shem Shemaim, or disputes for the sake of heaven. So, in our attempt to do this, we've begun to train various Jewish communal leaders. But really, if we want it to become core to Jewish culture, identity, practice, we have to start with our youth and within our schools. So, in 2012, together with the Pardes Center for Jewish Educators, we set out to create a Rodef Shalom curriculum, which was integrating serious rabbinic text study with contemporary conflict resolution theories and practices. But what we found out was that it's not enough for this just to live in the classroom. If we want this to become core to the character development of our children, then it has to be living in the whole school culture. And therefore we created this idea of the Rodef Shalom certification. And the idea was to capture the imaginations of our students, of teachers, both Judaic studies teachers and non-Judaic studies teachers, of parents, to think about what would it mean for us to be a Rodef Shalom school. How can we bring these values and practices and texts into not just the classroom, but also the playground and the lunchroom and the commemoration of holidays on the calendar, even to the faculty room and amongst the parent body. How can we create a network of Rodef Shalom schools across denominational and geographic divides? And I want to just end with the words of Rav Don Yitzchak Abarbanel, the great 15th century rabbi and Jewish communal leader, who writes in his commentary on the Mishnah and Avot, which calls for people to be students of Aaron and be a Rodef Shalom, a pursuer of peace. He said, don't think the word shalom means just the absence of conflict or fighting. Rather, the word shalom is one of the names of God. It means completeness, wholeness, healthiness. As he says, it's the string that connects all aspects of the community together. Therefore, if a Rodef Shalom is not just the mediator who puts out fights, it's really every one of us. It's every member of the community who has the responsibility to work towards creating a healthier and more peaceful community and world. And I therefore would like to invite you to join us and our attempt to revive this ancient Jewish model and to try to be a Rodef Shalom.